So in the last class, I have explained a few examples about HTML. We just created headings and paragraphs. Headings and paragraphs. Today, first thing is what? First, I'll explain the few concepts, and then how can we apply CSS also, and what is the purpose of applying CSS also, I'll explain. And at last, what to install and how to install, I'll explain. Okay, first thing. See, with our discussion, every HTML file, what is the purpose of HTML? HTML is used to create web pages. Web pages content. Okay. What is the purpose of CSS? It will only create content. We cannot apply any styles using HTML. If you want to apply styles, we can use CSS. Is used to apply styles on the page. Styles means what? Colors, background colors, borders, shading, any style. If you want to apply to the web page, we use a CSS. And what is the JavaScript? What is the JavaScript? Set responsiveness. Sir, what is that responsiveness to web page? So normally, if you create one HTML button, but once you click on that button, it will not do any task. Sir, whenever you click on the button, it has to change the background color, suppose. Or it has to give one welcome message. Welcome to HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Who will give means what? Is a JavaScript. JavaScript is completely programming part. We will discuss in a very simple way. So simple questions first. HTML is used to create web pages. Content of the web pages. Content means what? If they ask headings, paragraphs, images you can create, right? Next one is a hyperlinks you can create. Web forms means what? Forms contains buttons, checkboxes, radio buttons. All these are present in the HTML content. CSS means what? Is used to apply the styles. Like for example, colors we are setting, background colors we are setting, fonts we are changing, borders I am giving, alignment I am giving, alignment, shading, so many are there. JavaScript is a setting that responsiveness. Next one, who will run HTML file? Who will run HTML file? Browser. Browser will execute the HTML code. Any browser name is a Google Chrome, is a Mozilla Firefox, or recently came Microsoft Edge, Opera, so many are there. One browser software will run this one. How can we save? How to save HTML file? After writing just .html we are giving. File extension is a .html is a file extension. In the old days, only 3 letters allowed as a HTML, like txt is a .txt. By that time, HTML also used. So that is to save that file. Let me check. Okay. Is a one. Now, where to write the code that we already discussed, but once again with the simple examples. Whenever you are writing HTML file, Suppose consider this is HTML file. You can save with any name. Any name. For example, is a code dot extension is a HTML. It is a tag-based language. HTML is tag-based language. Nothing but everything you need to write inside that angular brackets. Tag means what? This one. Between angular brackets, we are writing. Angular brackets. See, listen. Tag we are writing in 3 ways. Look at this. This is one way of writing. One way. Next one. This is one way of writing. And look at this. This is one way of writing. Tag only, but we are writing tag in 3 ways. Without any slash, slash before preceded by, slash after it is a followed by. Sir, why? These two we are using in one kind is called non-empty elements. These are called non-empty elements. And this tag we called empty elements. Sir, first of all, what is non-empty element and what is empty element? What is empty element? It's a simple one. Suppose I'm creating the paragraph. P we are writing. Here, this is any content. This is my first paragraph we are writing. And we close like this. We close like this. Look at this. This is called a start tag. And this is called end tag. We can say that it is called start tag and this is called end tag. And in between, we are writing the content of the tag. In between, we are writing the content of the tag. Start tag, end tag, and content of the tag. And when we are using this one, while writing that empty tags, the best example is a break tag. BR is a break tag. Like a HR, horizontal line also, HR tag. Look at this. Slash you are placing here preceded by. Sir, slash you are placing here followed by. Is a followed by. It has only one tag. It has only one tag. Start tag only. There is no end tag. There is no end tag. Sir, why? Because there is no content. This one for paragraph, content is there. Content is there. Just for break, what content you will write? Break means what? Just it will break that line and send the cursor to the next line. And for drawing the horizontal line, what is the content will be there? So remember, two types of tags are there. Sir, whenever I'm writing the code, BR I'm writing, but I forgot to write this one, but still it is executing, sir. It is not giving any error. No error. Still it is executing. Then why? Why we are learning particularly like this? Particularly like this. Everyone thinking that learning HTML CSS and JavaScript is easy. This is a very difficult language to understand. Reasons I'll tell. If you make a mistake, where you did the mistake, it will not tell. No information about that mistake. So by ourselves, it is very hard to find the mistake. First one is what? HTML, CSS are called errorless languages. Errorless languages means what? Even though you made mistake, it will accept. It will accept. But when these things will create the problem, whenever you are writing thousands of lines of code, then they will not provide expected output. Instead of expected output, some other output will provide. Unexpected output will provide. Unexpected output will provide. Then how you will understand? Where is the error? Where is the error means what? It is very hard to find the error. That's why even though HTML is a errorless language, remember, even though HTML is errorless language, we have to follow our rules properly as a programmer. Sir, it is allowing now, so I will not follow. Don't do like that. Even though it is allowing, we must follow the rules. That is the first point. Because in future, we are working with IDEs, nothing but Visual Studio Code, right? Sublime Text, so many are there. Like in real time, what they are using, we are implementing the code in those places. So by that time, suppose if you make such type of mistakes, directly it will show the errors where errors are. The code will execute, but still that errors will highlight. So in companies, they will not accept. Why you are not writing the code in such a way like that, they will ask. So rules. So once again, there are two types of tags. One is a non-empty elements. Non-empty elements. Second one is a empty elements are there. Non-empty elements means what? There is a start tag as well as a content as well as an end tag also. Empty elements means what? There is only start and we end there itself. There is no content. So tags we are writing in this way. Okay. And this HTML is errorless language. So whenever we are writing this one, even though you are not following the rules, you will get the output. I'll show you some of the examples. And once again, I'm explaining whenever you are writing the document, any name you can use, any name, but extension should be .html. .html. Here, first tag you have to write is a doc type. Is a doc type tag we have to write. Sir, suppose if I am not writing this, again, same story, no error. But in interview, say HTML means what? Whenever they want to ask the questions, these type of questions only they will ask from HTML. So explain what a doc type tag will do. Doc type tag is giving information to browser about which HTML version you are using. HTML version we are using. That is, it's representing that new version is HTML5. But anyway, nowadays everyone using HTML5 only. And browsers also, we always use updated browsers only. We never use old browsers and all. So automatically it will recognize and it will detect. And every HTML file document has two areas. Everything you must place inside this HTML, and it has two areas. One is a head location. One is a head location. Second one is a body location. Body. So what type of content you will place in body? We already discussed. Whatever the content that is displayed on the web page. Whatever the content that is displayed on the web page. Just now we discussed paragraphs, paragraphs visible, headings visible. Okay, some different types, images visible, hyperlinks visible, forms, registration form, login form, forms visible, all these are. What kind of information you will place in head location? Main information they will ask. Tell me about meta information or meta keywords. Meta information. What is that meta information? What is meta information? If you create this page, suppose this is the page, it's a web page. About this web page, we are giving information to the search engine. To the search engine, we are giving information. That is based on this information only, search engine will recognize this one. Will recognize. See, for example, in Google, if you are searching for HTML tutorials, how you will type? Like either HTML tutorials, HTML documents, okay, best HTML tutorials, right? Top HTML tutorials, HTML introduction, introduction to HTML. You got it, right? These are actually called keywords. Keywords. These are the keywords we will already set in meta information. We will set in a meta information. So whenever you search for this one, then Google search engine will search for the keyword matching websites. Keyword matching websites. If this meta keyword matches with your website, then your website also will be one of the results. Will be one of the results. Simple. So that is called meta information. So what type of information you will place in head location? What type of information you will place in body location? This is the way. Doc type HTML is giving information to the browser about HTML version. That is the one. Okay. First, as we discussed in the last class, once again, I'm just using online HTML compiler. Later, I will explain by installing Visual Studio Code. Anything you just take, anything, any one. I'm just removing everything because I want to write the code. I want to write the code. The same one, doc type. Doc type, see, it is showing all the versions from 4, 5 and everything. That is doc type HTML. See, whenever you are using, automatically it has written. It is saying that we are using. And one more thing, sir, do we need to write everything in capital letters? HTML is not case sensitive. You can write capital letters. You can write small letters. You can write combinedly. Capital letters and small letters also you can write. It's not case sensitive. Simple. Okay. Here, here, I'm using same HTML. See, first of all, let me cut it. Look at this. This is my first web page. When I run, see, look at this. Still output came. Still output came. Got it? See, in a HTML file, even though you are not following the rules, it will give the output. But when you write thousands of lines of code, or at least hundreds of lines of code, somewhere it will stop. There you will face the problem. That's why better we follow. Now, HTML. Sir, head location, as of now, I am not using. So directly body. Start and end tags. Start and end. First, simply paragraph tag. Paragraph. First, I am giving the programs like this. Is this is my first web page. But when you run the code, everything will come in a single line. Everything will come in a single line. That is, sir, I just want to give that line break. We already discussed break is a break. I'm following the rules. Please follow. Properly give the slashes. It will be very useful in your future. Now see, line gap it will give. See here, just sending the control to next line. Just sending the control to next line. This is what break tag. This is called break tag. So suppose I'm not using that break. I'm using that paragraph tag. Paragraph tag I am using. Paragraph. This is my first web page. Suppose. What is the difference between break and paragraph? See, if you see the output, there is no gap between the lines. But if you see in the textbook, if one paragraph completed, then whenever it will move to the next paragraph, there is a line gap between. That's why, look at this. If it is a paragraph, there is a line gap between. There is a line gap between. Is a 1. Is a 1. Okay. In the same way, we already discussed, but once again, heading tags are heading. How many? Total 6 heading tags given. 6 heading tags from H1 to H6. We know the difference. Only that size gradually decrease. That size is gradually decrease. Is 1. H5 and H6. H6. When you just run the code, look at this. Like see, normally whenever we put the heading, how we put the headings? Suppose top heading we are writing. Top heading we are placing like this. Sometimes we are writing here it is a subheading. And sometimes some more subheadings we will place. Subheading we can say. So if you see that in the documentation, right, if you observe the heading sizes. So to understand whether it is a main heading or it is a subheading or subheading, They have given headings like this. Headings like this they have given simply like this. Okay. Now, some after these simple things, some formatting tags I'm going to explain. Formatting tags. Look at this. Sir, it's a paragraph. It is a paragraph. Yes, it's a paragraph. Just this paragraph, put it in bold. Look at this. In between, I'm writing the paragraph. Got it? It's a bold paragraph. It's a bold paragraph. Sir, same one, I just put it in a italic paragraph. Italic. Just a formatting only. Italic. Sir, so actually in the beginning, you told one thing. You told one thing. Any fonts, okay? Any background colors, any foreground colors, any font modifications. You said it is a CSS. Then how you are applying in HTML means, let me explain. When I was a student, HTML also allowed to apply some styles. Allowed to apply some styles. Initially, to understand the basic concepts, we are learning this one. Later, whenever they introduced what? CSS, so totally CSS 3, strictly they are giving the rule, please don't apply any styles in HTML. So in future, we will not use all these things, but only for 1 or 2 days. What all the tags are available in HTML, I'm showing. But any small modification of text, right, you are changing in your mind, automatically CSS only should come. Only CSS should come. That is called styling. That is called styling. But let me explain. Next, suppose, sir, underlined paragraph. Just you I am giving. Underlined paragraph. It will give underline. Sir, all the three can I apply? Look at this. Sir, bold I applied. Sir, italic I applied. Underlined I applied. Is a paragraph. Bold. You can give anything, but completely I'm writing. Italic, underlined, paragraph. Then everything will write. Bold, italic, underlined, paragraph. All the three, all the four is added into that single one. These are actually called formatting tags. These are actually called what? Formatting tags. These are the formatting tags. Is a one. And one more formatting tag is there. One more formatting tag. See, same only. I just want to print H2O. H2O in paragraph. H2O. But sir, that O should go down. That you have to put in the subscript. You have to put, it's not O, I think. It is O. Now look at this. Only two go down. See, it is called subscript. Sir, x square plus y square. X square superscript square plus y square superscript. When you run x square plus y square, these are called formatting tags. We can say subscript and superscript. These all called basic things. Quickly execute. Just I'll give 5 minutes time. Open online compiler and quickly execute 1 or 2 programs, simple programs. Then I'll explain how to apply styles. Please do. See, after writing the simple examples, I'll explain first what is the use of, how to apply CSS, in how many ways we apply CSS also, or we'll do one thing. Instead of that, in the tomorrow class, I'll explain. First of all, where to write the programs. Where to write the programs. We need to download and install one software called Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code. That Visual Studio Code is called IDE. IDE means what? Integrated. Integrated means combining all, integration. Development environment. Development environment by which we can easily develop UI applications. All UI apps creation become very easy. We can integrate everything. Is a software by which you can write the applications. Best example. Suppose if you want to play one video. If you want to play one video. Okay. So many video players are there. Suppose along with Windows operating system, Windows media player will. Okay. But here it is, we can download and install that VLC player also. It can play. MX player is there. It can play. Like all-in-one player is there. It can play. Different players are available to play the video. In the same way, video is nothing but .html file. .html file. The .html file can be run by directly notepad, writing notepad and directly use browser. It's a simple one. You can use notepad++. You can use edit+. Or suppose Java users directly use Eclipse. But particularly they have given Visual Studio Code for UI development only. Sublime Text. So many are there. So many are there. Everyone use Visual Studio Code. How can we download and install? Just Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code download is a one. Directly is available. It's a Visual Studio Code download. See, here it is for Windows. For Windows. See, download started. Is a download started. This is the way. Got it? Once we, here it is. Once download completed, just by double click on that, we can install. How can we set up all these things? I will share the video. In that video, complete setup is there. But once you have installed, how to run HTML code, how to run CSS code, how to run JavaScript code, everything we will discuss in the next class. Okay. This is just an introduction part. We will discuss how to download video. I'll share. Just download and install. Once the setup is ready, how can we run and all, we will discuss in the next class. Okay. You can leave for today.